guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a palette review on the new Kat Von D Pastel Goth palette. The funny story about this palette is that I kept putting it on hold. Like when it first came out with I think her highlighters came out at the same time, like the holographic ones. I kept putting it on hold like, I don't really need it. I'm never really going to use pastels. I'm not too crazy about color like that anyways. I was on Sephora and I was like getting my usual things. I got myself a brow wiz and like the essentials, you know what I mean? I kind of just picked it up on a whim. Like I kept putting it in my cart, taking it out, putting it in. So I was like, you know what, finally I'm just gonna get it and whatever, I'll just do a review on it. I'll do a look and feel it out, see how I like it. A few things I wanted to touch base on was obviously the price. It retails for $38, which I don't think is that bad. I will say though that when I first got the palette, I was expecting it to be a little bit bigger. In comparison to her Shade Light eye palette, like this is the difference. Like you can automatically see how much smaller the Pastel Goth one is. Love the packaging and how it's this like dripping goth like effect, and it still has like the bright colors that actually come in the palette. When you first open it, there's the yellow, then the peach right here, so it kind of like drips down in order, which I really like. It's a simple touch, but it's really cute and really effective when it comes to packaging. I don't know, I really love this, and I love how on the mirror it even has drops. Like I don't know if you can see that. This is the box that it comes in, and then this is the actual palette itself. I wish they would have kept this like really bright pastel, the actual color of the eyeshadows on the packaging itself. That's kind of like a minor thing that I'm not too worried about. The eyeshadows themselves, they're pretty much the exact same as her other palettes. I feel like at this point Kat Von D is pretty iconic for having the rectangular shadow pans. Like she does it in every single palette, like you guys can see. It's pretty much the same thing. I would say that the size of these pans in the Pastel Goth palette are the exact same that come in her Metal Matte palette. Like in size, they're pretty much the same. What I also really appreciated about this palette is that she kept her formula. Like even though they're pastels, and I know pastels are harder to come up with and put in a palette, what I do really appreciate about this palette is that she was able to keep her old formula. Like, same formula that's in the Metal Matte palette, in the Shade Light eye palette. It's pretty much consistent overall. If you guys own any Kat Von D palettes, you know that when you like place your brush in it, there is a lot of kick up and there is a lot of fallout when you do your eye makeup. I would suggest doing your eye makeup before face makeup, because as you guys will see later on in the video, I had a lot of green fallout like right on my cheekbone. But like I said, I know pastels are hard to do, but I really do like the fact that even though I love the shades in this palette, because I think that the pigment on these is just beautiful, especially for them being pastel colors, I do wish that there were kind of like those shimmery pastel, maybe. I don't know how difficult those are to do, but for matte shadows, I think they're really pigmented. They blend really nicely, not to mention like it's just overall a really great palette. There's nothing to really complain about the eyeshadows themselves. I would say the only one I had like the tiniest difficulty with was the yellow one, which is in the shade Star, or that's what it's called in the palette. It is just a tiny bit chalky for my liking. I feel like if you're really one to use colors all the time and you don't mind a pop of color, you'd really enjoy this palette. I really have nothing bad to say about it except for like the minor things that I would switch up. Like I've said before, I do want to start doing more like color looks, just because I know that a neutral eye doesn't really please everyone. It's mainly the reason I wanted to pick up this palette, just because I feel like I need some type of color in my life. Like I'm tired of just the neutrals and this and that and the champagne sparkly colors on my lids, and I just really wanted to try something different, and I like it. Later on in the video, I also paired this look with two different lip options. If you guys want to know how I got this look, then please keep on watching.
Our lips, they tasted like those cigarettes. Staring at the moon, we'd go to bed. In my arms, you're safe and sound, without a threat. And I can't wait to see what happens next. How far can we get if we sail a little bit high, a little bit low? How far can we get if we sail a little but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit young, but I'm all in. We're still a little bit dumb, but I'm all in.
So that pretty much wraps up this video. Like I said, if you guys are wanting to try something new, something a little bit different, and just experiment with color, I feel like this is the perfect palette to do that with. Even though there aren't like shimmery, metallic, bright colors to play around with, I feel like the mattes, if you really want to master color, this is the palette to do so. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below, follow me on my social media, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.